Speaking of United Center, it'll also play host to a pair of WNBA games for the first time this season. The Sky announcing their matchups, hosting the Indiana Fever will be moved from Wintrust to the UC, has about double the capacity, so more tickets available to watch Caitlin Clark.
Why is the United Center just hosting Caitlin Clark games? Apparently perplexed by the choice to enhance venues just when the Indiana Fever comes to town, Angel Reese recently complained to media. The response may have hurt her feelings, but sometimes the truth stings.
Well, what I do realize is that as of right now, no other Chicago Sky game have been moved to the United Center, except for one, Indiana Fever.
The Indiana Fever achieved an all-time home attendance record of almost 341,000 fans at Gainbridge Fieldhouse Angels past season, demonstrating that when a phenomenon enters the league and instantly forces teams to move venues because 10,000 seats aren't enough, it's not just star power, it's economic realities. Even though Chicago Sky isn't even near yet, she has somehow persuaded herself that they share equal responsibility for the game's expansion. We have all the images, sales data, and receipts pertaining to this humiliating arena incident that has Angel furiously upset.
So it looks like the Chicago Sky have finally done what we've been asking for, which was to schedule the games against the Fever at the United Center. And also, in case you weren't already aware, the United Center is the biggest basketball arena in the country. Both home games against the Fever have been scheduled at the United Center.
Have you noticed how swiftly the Chicago Sky said that they would only be relocating the Indiana Fever games to the United Center? Let's discuss what that actually implies. The Chicago Sky recently made a significant announcement that has the WNBA world abuzz. They are moving 2 specific games in the 2025 season to the storied United Center. And guess what 2 games those are? Both games against the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark. This isn't just a venue swap. It's a statement that says volumes.
With Caitlin coming to town, man, all these teams are going to cash in on that. It's just the nature of the business at this point. One fan saying, let's go Fever, taking over the United Center. I can't wait. The Angel Reese effect, no. They know better than to leave free money on the table when the face card comes to town. Yeah, man, because we remember last time Caitlin Clark was there, bro, the arena erupted.
The scheduling of the Sky's whole 2024 season, including every game that included their own rookie, at the small 10,000-seat Wintrust Arena, is what makes this choice so intriguing. Even during the height of Angel Reese's rookie season, when she was reportedly drawing such large numbers, the organization never felt pressured to relocate to a larger location.
It seems the Chicago Sky have had to move 2 of their home games to a larger facility, a larger basketball facility. I'm sure, no doubt, this is the Angel Reese effect. I've got no doubts, no qualms. There's nothing. She even told me herself right here that it's not just one other player. It's because of her, too.
Now that Clark is visiting the city, Sky President Adam Fox is suddenly talking about rewarding the passion and dedication of the fans. He said, in exact words, Chicago Sky fans have consistently shown up for the team in the city, and we want to reward their passion and dedication by bringing this excitement to an expanded capacity. But wait, if the goal is to reward devoted Sky fans, why is this special matchup so different from all the others?
One of the hottest tickets in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark, coming back to the city that she owns, coming back to Chicago after Chicago gave her such a warm welcome last year. They threw Barbie night for Caitlin Clark's arrival. They gave her pink towels. The fans were lined up on the side. She was signing autographs. How is Chicago going to welcome Caitlin Clark this next year around? How are they going to top Barbie night in a 9,000-seat arena? Well, easy. We move Barbie night to a 21,000-seat arena.
The statistics reveal a story that no one wants to publicly acknowledge. This isn't simply a venue shift. It's a financial decision that acknowledges an awkward reality about star power in the WNBA. The United Center can accommodate almost 21,000 basketball spectators, more than twice as many as Wind Trust Arena.
Caitlin Clark and Fever games getting moved to bigger venues on the road is normal at this point in time. We see it happen quite often whenever that Fever show comes to town. But in this case, it is interesting considering the opponent and considering the venue.
Yet Chicago isn't the only team in the league with this mindset. Take a look at the Washington Mystics. The Las Vegas Aces, the Connecticut Sun, and Atlanta Dream have both taken similar actions, moving their games to bigger arenas in an effort to combat the Fever. You'll notice a trend here. These teams aren't just picking games at random to upgrade. They're explicitly aiming for games that include Caitlin Clark.
My goodness. America's team versus a team who has the person who is the scourge of society. Oh, God. Oh, man. Quote, they watch for me, too. Barbie night? Which one is Barbie night? You got to think one of the two is going to be Barbie night, right? Look at this. Laughing my ass off. Caitlin is really giving every single team a fundraising game. I am weak. My GOAT is simply different.
The fan response on social media tells us all we need to know. Many fans are upset that only the games with Clark are receiving the upgrade treatment, implying that Angel Reese's popularity isn't significant enough to warrant the same move. Some fans have been especially outspoken about this perceived star power disparity, claiming that more of her games would be moved to larger venues if she were actually as popular as Caitlin Clark.
Will be moving to the United Center. So that's significant in the sense of it will be the first games ever played by WNBA teams in the United Center. The game's on Saturday, June 7th and Sunday, July 27th. One had a date change, but they will be moving to the largest capacity arena in the NBA. More than double, I believe, what the Sky's typical home arena is able to hold. And of course, this is a duh for so many reasons.
This issue is especially difficult because it immediately contradicts actions speak louder than words, and the decision by Sky to move only the Clark games to the United Center sends a clear message about who is actually filling seats. Throughout the previous season, the narrative Angel Reese repeatedly positioned herself as an equal draw to Clark, claiming that people were watching women's basketball because of her too.
Yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
The point that remains is not just why these games are being moved, but also why they are only doing so when one of their own stars is supposedly such a huge attraction. If Angel TR brought the same crowd, wouldn't every Sky home game merit the United Center treatment?
They will say this is because of Angel Reese. They can't say this because of Angel Reese, because for the simple fact, a lot of their games would have moved to bigger arenas if that was the case. They can't not say this. I know people want it, and I know people be mad about this, bro. Y'all shouldn't be mad about this, bro. This is just the reality of the situation. You're not a hater. You're not none of that if you say Angel's not as big as Caitlin, because she's not, guys. That's the reality of it all, bro.
Styles has been discreetly keeping score while Angel Reese has been busy informing everyone that she shares equal responsibility for the NBA's expansion. Let's see if the statistics support her audacious assertions or if they paint a completely different picture.
Folks, last year, the Indiana Fever were in Chicago, and a lot of us were asking, why aren't they putting this in the big arena? Are they really that stubborn that they're ready to just turn away dollars just for a narrative? Seems as if they got their end of their year report, looked at the bottom line and said, you know what? Slam shut. In 2025, we're going to be in the United Center.
The Sky would be rushing to move all of their home games to the United Center if Angel really brought comparable star power to the table. Logic would dictate that every Reese game would be a sellout if her statements were true.
And the Fever are going to be over 200,000 higher than the next highest total attendance in league history. Clarkonomics, my friend!
A clear picture is painted by examining the figures from the previous season. With nearly 341,000 fans in 2024, the Indiana Fever broke the NBA's single-season home attendance record. This is an incredible 36% increase over the previous record, which had been set by the New York Liberty back in 2001. This wasn't just incremental growth, though. It was a radical change in the number of people willing to pay to watch women's basketball.
Guys, I'm telling you, when Caitlin Clark comes to town, put it in the big arena because she is box office and it is going to be big money. Big, full. Not even just the ticket sales, merchandise sales, concession stands, parking. Dude, they are racking in money from every area when Caitlin Clark comes to town. So, of course, the Chicago Sky, oh, fine. I guess I'll milk that well until it's dry.
When you consider head-to-head matches, the difference is even more noticeable. For example, when Clark and RE faced off last season, ticket prices not only went up but also skyrocketed, with some seats fetching thousands of dollars as fans scrambled to see the rivalry in person. However, games with just Reese and no Clark factor commanded nowhere near the same premium or sense of urgency in the secondary market. In fact, Sky home games for the upcoming season are still available for bargain bin prices, while Fever home games have long been sold out.
There's a very thin line between hate and facts. And what I believe to be the case is that there was incremental growth in the WNBA comparatively to the exponential growth we are seeing now. What I'm about to tell y'all I haven't heard before, so I doubt you have either. Before the 2023 season, the WNBA had grown by 40% viewership from 2022 to 2023. But with Caitlin Clark's arrival, it's grown by 400% viewership. What that means...
Even more significant is the fact that, on average, 9,000 people attended Angels games last season, which is roughly half of the Indiana Fever's average of roughly 177,000. Even the WNBA has acknowledged that more than 25% of revenue last year can be attributed to Caitlin Clark. This isn't just star power. The league's venue-changing influence is undeniable, regardless of how frequently someone claims to be responsible for women's basketball's recent surge in popularity. The WNBA saw a twofold increase in attendance, particularly when Clark was playing, while the Fever averaged 36% more fans on the road than any other team in the entire league.
Yeah, let's tell you about Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark has brought so many eyes to women's basketball that it's amazing. A dude named Acho, I forgot his first name, is something Acho.
Emmanuel Acho.
Yeah. He showed how in 5 days before the draft, she made the WNBA more money than they would have made in the next 5 years without her.
This isn't meant to minimize Angel's abilities or contributions. She still has a fan base. However, when someone openly presents themselves as equally appealing to someone who is clearly drawing twice as many people, the statistics invariably force an uncomfortable reality check. There's a big difference between saying you're drawing fans to the arena and actually packing those seats.
Again, as of right now, to my knowledge, that what I've seen, no other Angel Reese games have been moved due to potential attendance for said game. I mean, I'm just pointing that out. I'm not sure if you're allowed to. I've been told, Angel Reese told us it was because of her too. They're coming because of me. Are they? Are they really?
When one player regularly attracts thousands more people than another, venue selections become agonizingly easy. The Sky isn't playing favorites. They're playing business today, and in the end, basketball teams are businesses, and companies follow the money. In this instance, the money is following Caitlin Clark in amounts that are impossible to ignore or justify with assured news conference pronouncements.
I don't see other teams doing this for other players. They're doing it for Caitlin Clark because they know Caitlin Clark is bringing the bacon. She's bringing the bacon, but this is great.
What initially appeared to be a single business decision by the Sky has swiftly emerged as part of a league-wide transformation focused on one player's drawing power. That money trail isn't just leading to Chicago's United Center. It's creating new paths throughout the entire WNBA landscape. Teams aren't just upgrading venues because they feel generous. They're reacting to an economic force they can no longer ignore.
The CC hype is real. Is this the Caitlin or Angel effect? Stop it. Caitlin Clark effect. GOAT. Let's go see what the Fever fans got to say. I mean, seriously, the Angel Reese effect. Sarcasm. Every venue CC plays in, the Caitlin Clark effect.
More quickly than anyone could have predicted, the domino effect is spreading. The Connecticut Sun gave up their customary home court for the storied TD Garden in Boston, where the Celtics play, while the Washington Mystics moved to Baltimore's CFG Bank Arena, which has over 15,000 seats, for their intense games. This isn't a coincidence. Rather, it's a planned reaction to previously unheard-of demand. What's even more intriguing is that Caitlin Clark foresaw this venue revolution almost a year ago following one of her performances, which she mentioned in passing.
I'm surprised we're not playing at the United Center. I thought that would have been really good for the game and really good for all the women's basketball fans in Chicago. So maybe there's a conflict of some sort that I don't know about. Obviously, that's a little above my pay grade. But we're excited, one game at a time.
No requests, no complaints, just a simple thought regarding what could be advantageous for women's basketball. Overall, many cities have seen the realization of Flash Forward and her naive suggestion. The monetary ramifications are astounding, those compared to being at Wintrust. United Center games bring in an extra $4 million in revenue, which is not negligible for a league that has always had financial difficulties. Let that sink in. $4 million from just 2 games.
Remember, the Washington Mystics also moved 2 of their games yesterday, too. I wonder if those were Angel Reese games. Oh, they weren't. They weren't Angel Reese games. They were Indiana Fever games. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I didn't do it.
When league executives examine these figures, they see a long-term commercial potential rather than a shifting trend. Franchises who had been operating on thin margins for years now had a clear route to financial success. The question is not whether they should take advantage of Clark's popularity, but rather how soon they can get bigger venues before someone else does. The story behind Angel Reese's official court ventures is different. Her involvement in the National 3x3 League didn't exactly break attendance records for Flame. In fact, reports suggest she hardly made an impression. The contrast is stark, since Clark's very presence requires venue alterations in several places. Reese's celebrity status hasn't translated into comparable business success.
She is just not a needle mover like Caitlin Clark is. Now, is she a great player? Yes, she is phenomenal. But she is not Caitlin Clark. She's not even nowhere near on Caitlin level. She's not on her level financially. She's not on her level impact-wise, and she damn sure ain't on her level on the basketball court, because we seen that happen last year when Caitlin won Rookie of the Year. It's okay, bro. It is okay for her to be second fiddle.
As expected, there have been differing opinions among fans regarding these venue modifications. Reese defenders lament partiality, while Clark allies point to the indisputable economic onks. One viral tweet that cleverly ignored the reality that ticket demand, not record-breaking, drives these business decisions, perfectly captured the debate about how they never moved Angels games to larger arenas when she was breaking records, but the minute Clark arrived in town, they suddenly needed 20,000 seats. Another fan replied that perhaps Angel wouldn't have to worry about arena sizes if she concentrated more on honing her jump shot and less on who was receiving attention. The most insightful fan comment was made by a Chicago resident who said, "I've been a Sky fan for years, but I was unable to purchase tickets for the Fever games last season. Now that I have access to United Center, I can. How is it terrible that more people can see women's basketball?"
We're bringing more and more fans to this league, people that have maybe never watched the WNBA before, and it kind of takes your breath away at points.
Let's face it, Angel Reese is not personally offended by the United Center transfer. Social media is ablaze with responses that validate what we already know. This venue change is a clear acknowledgement of Clark's undeniable star power, while Angel continues to position herself as an equal draw. It's just business. The economics of women's basketball are finally matching what fans have been voting for with their wallets and attention all along. Caitlin lets her skills speak for itself. Basketball gurus are now recommending what many fans already think, that Angel would be better off accepting the league's competitive character and concentrating on improving her game rather than drawing comparisons. instead of whether people watch for Angel too. The question is if she will utilize this as an opportunity to do better rather than as fodder for criticism. The reality that stares back at you in the box scores and attendance numbers can occasionally be the most difficult to swallow. Do you agree? If so, please let us know in the comments. Subscribe and enable all notifications so you don't miss anything. We'll see you in the next one after you click the video on the screen.